by Shanky Charles, and I'm an entrepreneur, I think. I've sacrificed a lot in terms of comforts, like sacrificed my job. So I used to work in project management in pharmaceuticals, legally. And also basically a lot of spare time and a lot of money so far. Not entirely successful yet, but I'm on the way. It's hard to say what makes me different because I don't know everyone else, but speaking for myself so far, it's just been having one thing that I want to do, or loads of different things I want to do, and just like going after it. I just took the plunge. I think taking the plunge, I don't know if I'm different for doing that, but there's tons of people who've taken the plunge. I don't know if I'm different, but by just hoping to change the world in some ways is one thing I would like to think makes me different. My goals inspire me a lot. The possibility of knowing that I could potentially change the world or potentially have an impact on someone's life, that's something that inspires me a lot. My parents inspire me a lot, my mum particularly, who like didn't have much and just like made the most of it and like managed to get us in this position now where we can make a difference in our family stances. That's something that inspires me a lot. I think the things that inspire me a lot are just seeing people coming from nothing and just making something out of their lives. I think anyone who's done that successfully is like a real big inspiration to me. I don't know if there's one particular moment, but I believe that when I was really young, I always believed in, like, I don't know what self-doubt is. It's really bad and really good at the same time, because I don't really doubt myself too often, because ever since I was young, I've always had to take care of myself. So I've had a lot of independence. So that's helped me to kind of believe in myself. I have more confidence in my ability. I don't know what particular point that clicked. Actually, I do know. There was one particular time when my friends were on the way somewhere, and we were doing like this thing where my friend was on like a horse and cart, and it was like 2 miles away. And my friend was like, "Oh, you can't come on the horse and cart." So my dad said you won't come on the horse and cart because my dad said I couldn't go. And I was like, "Oh, I'm definitely coming." He's like, "No, you can't come." I was like, "Yeah, I'm coming." And he's like, "What are you gonna do? Run?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna run." And I ran like 2 miles straight. And he was like, after the first mile, he's like, "You can stop now." I didn't mean, "No, I'm coming. I'm just gonna run it now. Now that you told me I can't." So I think that was one of the moments in my life where I realized that there isn't much I can't do if I put my mind to it, and that's the way I've approached life ever since that time. Yes. Yeah, my circle's changed a lot. I wouldn't say my friends have changed, but my circle have changed. So we grew up in the council estate, as you well know. Used to get arrested a lot. I think I'm still the highest. I think I hold the record for 4 times in a month. So I think I'm the highest. I'm the one that's been arrested the most, I think, out of us all. So that I've stopped hanging around with those people, not for any reason other than the purpose of pursuing my goals. And I found that the people who are after setting up businesses and entrepreneurship, and like in the tech industry particularly, are just different people. So that's changed my circle a lot. It's hard to say there's just 3 qualities. It's a mixture of, I think it's just mainly like believing in yourself, believing in your self-belief, and also just knowing that you can make a difference. I think those 2 things are the 2 qualities that's driving me at the moment, honestly. Yeah, but I don't know. This is always something, I don't know. I don't remember them. It's weird. Like, I don't know people that tell me I can't do stuff because I don't listen to that. So there isn't like one particular person that says, "Oh, you can't do something." Because for me, everything that I've tried to do has been like ridiculously hard, or people are not going to believe me anyway. So I don't usually tell people. I just usually try and do it. And when I do it, that's when they say, "Oh, I see what you're trying to do." I wanted to be a fireman at one point. Then I wanted to be a footballer. I managed to do that to some extent. Still got to play for my country. It's good. What else did I want to do? I wanted to travel, but couldn't afford it. That was a big one. I remember I was in a relationship with this girl, and she was traveling the world. Like, her parents used to pay for her ticket, and I couldn't move. I was like, she's like, oh, come and join me, and I'm like, that's just not my reality at the moment, and that's something I really wanted to do. So I'm just fortunate now that I have the opportunity to do that a lot more. Hobbies, gym, a lot of gym, football, as you know, used to play football. Interested in business so much, interested in empowering people. I think that's one of the things that I've realized recently that's helped me to kind of even want to succeed even more, because when I see people coming from our background and not having enough or not having anything succeed, that's something that actually encourages me. And I realized that one night when I was sitting in the audience of a poetry night, and this guy was just advertising his business. I think it was a driving school, and he was advertising his business, and I was just so excited for this guy, and I'm like, oh my days, that's something I'm really interested in. And before that, I didn't realize I was so passionate about seeing other black people or people of coming from our background succeed. Do it. Do it. My advice is always do it. I would say plan, but do it. Plan, but do it. If you can, do it. Don't hold back. I think everyone's on this whole tip of like I gave a talk 2 days ago in a school to some like college students, going into college students, and was just doing this career, like, what do you want to do? And a lot of them are like, oh, I want to do this, but I have to have a plan B. And I'm like, yeah, the plan B is usually flexibility. Like, you adjust the plan. Like, you don't change the goal, you adjust the plan. But they're like, no, I want to do this, but I'm planning something else. And in my mind, I'm like, there's too many people telling us that we can't do stuff even before we even try, and they haven't even tried stuff themselves. So that's frustrating. So yeah, do it. Yeah, measure my performance. I measure my performance every day. When I'm in the gym, if I can go heavier. When I'm in the gym, it's actually not the gym so much as about being consistent. So I measure it by being consistent. I don't even actually measure it by how much I lift anymore. I just literally do it by being consistent. Business-wise, it's the numbers. The numbers don't lie. So as long as we can hit targets and like accomplish stuff that we set out, I think that's the one way of measuring it. And my personal progress, I measure it by seeing how well I'm coping with the pressure and how well I'm coping with dealing with my failed expectations and like all the pressure that's around me in general. What hardships? I think the hardest is this the place for this? The hardest thing I've ever gone through was a breakup. I think that's the hardest thing I've ever gone through. I've been in fights that lasted hours, literally, and then like breakup is one of the things that's really rocked me, and it didn't rock my faith so much, but it rocked me as a person, because it just made me feel that's the only point in my life where I felt like I wasn't enough. And I just reacted, and I realized what was happening. I reacted, and I just went in the gym and just boosted up. Look like this now. Yeah, I see my friends all the time. No, like every day for me is a blessing, man. Like the truth is, like I really feel like I don't need to go back to the neighborhood so much, because there's one thing I'm fully aware of where I'm coming from. And the neighborhood is not as significant as the memories and the scars and the person I am today. I think the person I am today is a result of that. So every time I look in the mirror, I'm like, damn, you've come a long way. And even like when I speak to my friends and stuff, it's just good to know that we've all come a long way. Yeah, I'm trying to start up a mentorship club for young black men. Trying to go into schools, trying to tell people they can accomplish, trying to put the foundations in place. Although I'm not fully there yet, I pray to God one day I will be there, and I will be able to open a lot more doors with a lot more opportunity, like you're doing now as well. So anything I'm doing now, the only thing I'm doing now that I think is going to really help me to get to the next target is getting a mentor and like reaching out to someone that's in my position and in my field. That's one thing that I'm working on now.
Why do you feel some people fail and others succeed?
That's a really good question. I've been trying to find the answers to that myself, in many ways, but I think it's a lot to do with self-doubt, and I feel like there's a lot of self-doubt going around, and people have told us we can't do things for a long time, so therefore we see failure as this one point where something happens, like you applied for the job and you didn't get it, so I failed. But the actual truth is, I don't think anyone fails if they haven't chosen to. Because if you kept applying, you're in the process until you actually stop. So I don't know. That's a trick question. The future, I'm very optimistic by nature. I would like to think that I would be in a position to help out a lot. I would say run a few successful businesses, but that doesn't make that much difference. But I really want to make an impact on the lives of those around me, especially those coming from similar backgrounds, and just being able to make an impact in the world. My parents would describe me as troubled and bad to the bone. A hard head. My parents would probably describe me and say I was a bad youth. Bad youth.